Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Big Money Talks with me, Big Money Nicholas. This is the 10th episode of this podcast. Really exciting. Last little venture of mine, I did not get to 10 episodes. So this is a pretty cool milestone. A lot of things happened in wrestling the past week, and I'm coming to you on Friday because I just wasn't able to get to doing this week. Just, regular life stuff and snowstorms, and technically I wouldn't be able to do this today, but I'm taking time, and I've told a certain somebody who lives with me, stay away from me. And now I can do this. So without further ado, let's get into what happened this week. And I'm not gonna, we have the Elimination Chamber coming up this Sunday, but I am not really going to talk about Raw and SmackDown, just because there are other things that I want to talk about. And first of all, let's talk about just AEW really quick. Proud and Powerful, Santana and Ortiz, unfortunately did not win the tag titles. The match was phenomenal. I mean, of course, we knew that the match was going to be phenomenal, but unfortunately, they did not win. And I was really hoping that they would. A lot of people throughout wrestling media and podcasts and wrestling Twitter wanted Santana and Ortiz to win, and it didn't happen. And the ending of the match was a little odd. I mean, what my preferred way of doing it would have been was having the Good Brothers come out and cost the Young Bucks the match. It could be by accident, could be on purpose. I mean, it could be whatever. And that would start their feud. But they decided not to do it that way. So there you go. The probably like one of the biggest shockers of that show, if not the biggest shocker, was Brian Cage power bombing Sting. Power bombing him, like power bombing him. I jumped up because I did not expect that at all. That was insane. I guess that means he's totally cleared, right? That was like, boom. It was not a power bomb you'd be giving Ric Flair, that's for sure. But it looked great. I mean, if he's able to take a bump like that, my goodness. That's setting up obviously Darby and Sting versus Team Taz in that match for Revolution. That's coming up next week. No, March 3rd, I think it is. No, not March 3rd. 7th, March 7th. That'll be fun to watch. I mean, I didn't mind them bringing in Sting, so I'm interested to see what they do. I mean, do I want him obviously going for the AEW title? No, I don't think anybody really does. He shouldn't be fighting at 62 years old for the company's top championship. Maybe a TNT, like chase, but not a win. But the top title, I'm I'm not, I'm not really feeling that. Um, we'll see what happens. I'm trying to remember what the main event of Dynamite was. Was it the? My goodness, I don't remember what it was, but that's okay because I don't want to. I don't want to harp too much on that. The biggest. I have a big talking point. It's basically my feature of this podcast, and it's of the Kyle O'Reilly situation. Now, I was. I don't watch NXT, as you know already, if you've watched these. Um, I was watching AEW. AEW was finished. Um, a movie came on after AEW with The Rock and Kevin Hart called Central Intelligence. It was funny. I actually didn't expect it to be funny because I'm not really a huge Kevin Hart fan. But you know what? It was really funny. I would recommend it to people. Um, so about halfway through the movie, I'm looking through Twitter and I see reports from not reports, but people talking about Kyle O'Reilly having a seizure um, after NXT went off the air. This was just, like a bunch of people in the wrestling Twitter circle were talking about it. So, I'm just like scrolling through and then some people are posting, these pictures and somebody had even posted a video. Obviously, knowing now, that's whatever. But at the time, it's like, what are you doing posting pictures of somebody's seizure and I'm stretching him out and stuff like that. So when he went, I went back, I actually watched, I had recorded NXT for something that was on the show just to see like what was going to happen with the Adam Cole turn on Kyle and Undisputed Era splitting up. So I had it recorded already. So I was like, oh my goodness, this is terrible. So I didn't put it on because I didn't want to really like see that. I had heard that Kyle was already showing the like baby face. I mean, they were already baby face, but like just that like sowing the seeds of that split where he wasn't doing like the Undisputed Era thing. I don't know how to do that. You, I don't know if it's UE. Is this? Yeah, there you go. UE. UE. Um, Roddy Strong came out and did the UE, but Kyle O'Reilly just walked right by him. He didn't even do the Undisputed Era thing. He just walked to the ring. I actually really liked how they just had him come out without any music to start the show while the NXT theme was playing and the announcers were talking. And just like, that's the type of stuff that I like. Not, and I think I just mentioned this last week. I don't like the overproduced. Yes, I did mention this last week. I don't like the overproduced aspect of WWE, the way that they shoot all the time. I had mentioned AEW's thing last week when Sammy attacked MJF and then split, and then Jericho was like, his music was playing and he was very conflicted. Like, he wanted to go to the back and find Sammy, but he also knew that he had to go out and wrestle. I like stuff like that. So they did what they did with NXT was fantastic, and more of that. I really like more of that in wrestling. I enjoy that. so yeah, so like I'm going through and I'm just seeing all these people from NXT, uh, images of Triple H out in his street clothes, while Kyle is being stretchered out, and I'm like, oh my goodness, this is so terrible. I hope he's okay. Come to find out a little while later, earlier, Thursday morning, he never had a seizure. He never had a seizure. He never had any type of a medical episode. No unconsciousness, no seizure, no nothing. It was just a fan who speculated that he had a seizure based off of somebody else's picture or video and ran with it on Twitter. And it blew up. It just blew up, and everyone knowing Kyle O'Reilly's medical history were extremely concerned and were upset and scared and hoping that he was okay. But so here's the thing. WWE does stretcher jobs all the time. Not all the time, but enough, I guess, so it's not abnormal to see it. But what made it a little bit more abnormal were two things. One, Triple H, while he comes out for certain things, he does not come out like that. He does not come out in street clothes. He does not, he comes out for, like, he's on Raw and SmackDown. He's in a suit. I think he's done a couple of stretcher job things where he's come out before, but he's always been in character. He did not look like he was in character at all. And again, it was pictures. I only saw him in pictures. So he could have been in character, but you can't see that in pictures really. Unless he's doing like a crotch chop or, the spitting out the water, like that's obviously in character in the picture. This is just him standing outside the ring in a street clothes. That doesn't look like it's in character. That was the first part. The second part of, oh my goodness, this is really abnormal. NXT wrestlers, I think Dakota Kai and then a couple of other people were tweeting about it, like genuine concern and hoping that he's okay. While that's not abnormal, really, if it were known that this was a work, I feel like maybe it would the characters would have included more work type stuff into their tweets. I don't know what Isaiah Swerve Scott put out. Somebody had mentioned to me that he had tweeted like in character, and then people were attacking him because everyone thought he actually had a seizure. But like stuff like that, I think would have been more. You would have seen that if everybody knew that there was a work, but because they don't tell everybody, hey, we're going to do this thing, so watch what you say on social media. That's what happened. So it was threefold. It was the fan speculating that Kyle had a seizure based off of somebody else's video not being there. The person that had speculated and started this whole thing, I found out also wasn't even there. 2, Triple H coming out in the street clothes. 3, the NXT talent voicing genuine concern on social media. Those 3 things caused the whole shitstorm on Wednesday night. So I don't feel like there's anyone necessarily to blame in that whole situation. But, really to blame is the fan who speculated that it was a seizure. Like, that really is the person to blame if you want to blame anybody. Because if that person had not done that, we would have just had a regular stretcher job, and NXT does an injury report. So it would have been reported, that he could have been out for a week or two with an injury, just doing that regular type of stuff. But because it was a specific person, Kyle O'Reilly, who has a legitimate medical history, I believe, with seizures or something like that, um, then it just blew up, and it was like, oh shit, Kyle had a seizure, Triple H is out, NXT talent are voicing concern, and they ran with it until Ryan Satin officially reported earlier on Thursday morning it was not a stretcher job it was not a seizure storyline. It was just a stretcher job. No seizure happened. Kyle was okay. And that was a huge sigh of relief. However, on the other side, what I was particularly upset about that night and Thursday morning was people ragging on people like me, not directly to me, but people like me who were voicing concern for somebody who most people thought had actually had a seizure. That's really screwed up, because to do this like LOL wrestling Twitter thing at a time like that is really messed up. And that was really what pissed me off more than anything. WWE can do stretcher jobs. That doesn't bother me. I don't blame WWE for this at all. Would I maybe have had Ryan Satin come out at like 1:30 in the morning or 2 in the morning, whenever it was, like hours afterwards? No, I would have done it a little earlier. Maybe I would have done the stretcher job on TV even. That would have been more helpful for the situation. But I can't blame them. I can't blame them for this. You can blame them for a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff. But not this. Can't blame them for this. So, okay. The fan, yes, that was unnecessary. It wasn't 100% that was what it was. You shouldn't have said that. You shouldn't have spread that. That's really what set the bomb off and caused all the chaos on Wednesday night. So I really blame them more than WWE, because WWE, that's what they do. They do stretcher jobs. So Kyle, in his incredible selling and just how great he is as a wrestler, was able to even convince people that it could have potentially been a seizure, because that's how good he is at wrestling. So props to him for that. I mean, I'm sure that's not, that obviously this wasn't the outcome that he would wanted out of the cell job. But props to you, Kyle. You can sell a bump on the steel steps so well that people thought that you had a seizure. And he did tweet out the next day, like, thanking everybody for being concerned. So, like, I don't blame him for this at all. I really don't. I really like Kyle O'Reilly. I saw him wrestle Austin Theory once in Evolve. It was really cool. Just being there for the Undisputed Era music and that feel was just really cool. So, I haven't like ever met him. I never like taken a picture with him or anything like that, but I would love to. He seems like a genuinely great guy. And I'm glad that this was not a actual seizure and he is okay. Because I think that what's going to happen now is he's going to be probably one of, if not the top babyface on NXT out of this Adam Cole heel turn. So I'm all on board with that. I may actually check that out more, because I NXT has been lacking something for a while. And I think that this Undisputed Era split, while a lot of people wanted them to be a unit up on the main roster, I think it's actually better this way. So I'm okay with that. I think that Kyle is a great person to build NXT around. So, and he can have some great matches with Johnny Gargano. He can have some great matches. You know, he can do Theory again. They can run that back. I bet Kim and Karrion Kross would be a great match. So I'm all for it. Absolutely. So yeah, I just wanted to, like, that was like one of my biggest things that I needed to hit on, because that was something that genuinely upset me. Like, guys, girls, wrestling Twitter, why are we always turning on each other? It makes this place genuinely unpleasant to be in. Like, you can be fans of whoever you want to be fans of, you can dislike whoever you want to dislike, but what the hell? Like, you're like, oh, wrestling Twitter, you guys are, you know, you fall for anything, but you marks, you, like, screw you, number one. That's unnecessary. So, like, what the hell? Like, it makes Twitter genuinely an unpleasant place to be. And to be totally honest with you, if I didn't have the friends that I made from Twitter and talked to, like, you know, Jeremy Lambert and Joe Holbert on Fightful, and Alex Pulowski on Fightful, and people that I'm friends with from my site, Cage Side Seats, some people, you know, that I've met a couple of times, you know, I probably would delete Twitter, honestly, because Twitter is just not fun. You know, there's fun things to banter about every now and then, but for the most part, it's shit. It really is. You know, with certain situations like that, like, I have tried to tailor my Twitter experience to a nice bubble of people that I care about. But even that stuff was breaking through on Wednesday night, and it was not pleasant. It really wasn't. You know, I had first seen it from Joe Pearl, who does a podcast, Tim and Joel Call It in the Ring, on Thursdays. They're really great guys, Tim and Joel. So I had seen it from his Twitter, and that's how I had found out that something even happened on Wednesday night with Kyle, or not happened. You know, everybody was worked into a frenzy over it because of this report from somebody that wasn't even there that there was a seizure. So, you know, it was just not a productive thing that was happening on Twitter, and I just don't want to see that happen again. It was very unpleasant. It was very unpleasant, and really, if you're one of these people that rags on somebody who has a genuine concern for somebody's health, I mean, that's just stupid. It really is. Stop that shit. So, anyway, Elimination Chamber is on Sunday, and the two biggest things that I care about are the Elimination Chamber matches, because they really set the scene for the rest of WWE to WrestleMania. So Drew McIntyre is going to defend the WWE Championship against Sheamus and AJ Styles and Randy Orton and Jeff Hardy and Miz. Oh, not Miz anymore. Sorry. You know what? That was something that happened really awesome on Raw. Miz took himself out of the Elimination Chamber match. Kofi is now in his place, so that's great. So it's going to be Kofi, not Miz. And I mean, a bunch of stuff can happen in that match. The Fiend can come back and attack Orton. Braun can get involved. Miz could cash in. Retribution could attack Kofi. I mean, there's an endless things that could happen in that thing. But what I think is most possible is one of two things. Either Drew retains, or AJ Styles actually wins, and then AJ and Drew face off at WrestleMania for a rematch. I think that might be the way to go, because AJ's been really built up this year, and it'd be good to see him with the title with Omos, you know, whatever they decided his name is now. So yeah. Now on the other side, we have oh my goodness, who's in this match? For SmackDown, we've got Kevin Owens, Jey Uso, Baron Corbin, Sami Zayn, and Daniel Bryan. Oh no. Yes. Oh yes, Daniel Bryan and Cesaro. Sorry. Cesaro, Daniel Bryan, Baron Corbin, Sami Zayn, Jey Uso, Kevin Owens. There we go. So yeah, so that'll be interesting. And then the winner, I could be wrong on that, to be honest with you. It's been a week. I'm sorry. Yeah, so one of those people, whoever it is, they're going to be the winners, and then they're going to face Roman Reigns immediately after they win. I think that's what it sounded like. It sounded like what they were saying on SmackDown was that whoever wins that Elimination Chamber match will be the getting that title shot like right after, which would benefit Roman, obviously, because you know they're going to be facing a guy who literally just fought 5 other men. So that'd be interesting. I do think that it's going to be this guy. That's why I'm wearing his shirt today. And tonight is SmackDown, and I'm thinking that they're going to probably set that up. It was interesting to see that Raw got the gauntlet, but I think it did help Raw tremendously because it made the last hour of the show a great watch. So we'll see what happens with SmackDown tonight. But I do think that this guy is gonna win it because of what happened at the Royal Rumble with their handcuffing part of that match that ended up like really botching the whole ending. And I think this will be his final match. I think that will be like the definitive, that's it, it's over, regardless of whether somebody interferes or somebody does something stupid. I think this will be the final one for them to close that chapter. And then who faces Roman afterwards? I don't know. It could be Edge. He could pick him. It could be Daniel Bryan, Cesaro. They've been building him up. Who knows? But we'll get there when we get there. So Sunday will be Elimination Chamber. You can catch my recap of Elimination Chamber as well as all WWE main roster shows on Cage Side Seats. And I am at Big Money Drew on Twitter. And that'll be all for now. So thanks for watching. Hit subscribe, hit the like button, and until next time, bye for now.